have you noticed, Paul, and maybe your listeners have noticed too, if you do a search on Google, especially if it's more of a conversational search, you get the AI overview that pops up first,
Yep.
and those are popping up more and more. And what's really interesting about that I've just seen the pattern with is a company can be there and up in that AI overview, and they can link to their business profile. They can sometimes link to their website. Um, but they can be up there and not be on page one in the organics below.
Welcome to the Roll Up and Roll Out podcast. Sit down with blue-collar business owners and inspired entrepreneurs to get the industry insights from the leaders that grow our local communities and learn how to scale your business. Regardless of GED, these people know how to GSD. Here is your host, Paul Childers. Let's get to work.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Roll Up and Roll Out. It's a podcast about usually blue-collar business owners and those that work with blue-collar business owners who are doing cool things, participating in cool things, and just generally cool people. So today we've got Kory Arnold with Mountain Moving Online Solutions. Kory, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So, Kory, tell me a little bit about yourself and your company. What do you do?
Yeah, so like you said, it's Mountain Moving Online Solutions. I help businesses get found online. So whether that's through helping them build websites, helping them optimize their websites or Google profiles, helping with some ads as well, Google and Facebook ads. But really work on making businesses famous online.
What got you into that industry, and kind of like what are you most passionate about in doing that?
Yeah. So I'll try to keep this as concise as possible. I was a real estate broker living in Colorado at the time, and was kind of realizing that wasn't what I wanted to do long term. And so I started to look around different options. I like to have kind of freedom and flexibility with what I'm doing. So I started thinking about and seeing stuff about working, like just doing stuff online for a business or for a job that you're doing, and kind of learned about some affiliate marketing stuff that led to learning about some cost per action marketing stuff. And then I saw an ad of a guy that was training on doing some of the stuff that I'm doing now, that ended up joining his group. Cause again, looking for some of that, being able to help people and serve businesses, but then also be able to have some of that freedom of location and some of that time freedom and stuff like that. I can work from anywhere, go anywhere, and be able to kind of structure my schedule. Is what I really like to do with that. And it really fit with some of my I like kind of I just like the marketing thing of kind of being creative of how to catch people's attention, um how to get in front of people and be able to it just combines the doing this business combines marketing creativity with also some tech things which I'm good at as well, and then also the sales setup thing and being able to solve problems is what I really like to do.
Sure. No, I mean, that makes sense. And what's fascinating right now, if anybody that's in tune in the business world, is like AI is making a huge push into all the industries. And, working with blue collar owners myself, right? I'm not going to say a resistance or a hesitancy to it. I think there's a lot of noise. I mean, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that does anything in marketing, development, coaching, finances, whatever, is pushing AI, right? And so from your perspective, like, where's the balance in that? Like, what should owners be considering and be actually aware of? And what's some of the stuff that maybe is kind of like, I mean, if you wanted it or use it, whatever, but you don't really need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the first thing what I've like been hearing and kind of observing is that you're right. There's tons of noise about it. There's tons of like that's just the buzzword. There's the AI agents. They throw these things around that mean different things to different people. Um, but I think the biggest thing is what I've heard is like that someone might buy some or use some AI tool but then not know how to implement it. So then they're just like they just had this thing, right? And I think I heard a stat that and this was a while ago, but I think it was like 70% of businesses know they need something with the AI, but they don't know how to implement it type of thing. But then if you just buy a tool, and then don't really use it, that's not really helping. Um, So as far as what I'm seeing too is that it's not even for business owners like that, it's not even about what tool to implement in their business. It's about being found because of those, like with those tools. So have you noticed, Paul, and maybe your listeners have noticed too, if you do a search on Google, especially if it's more of a conversational search, you get the AI overview that pops up first.
Yep.
And those are popping up more and more. And what's really interesting about that, that I've just seen the pattern with is a company can be there and up in that AI overview, and they can link to their business profile. They can sometimes link to their website. Um, but they can be up there and not be on page one in the organics below, which is fascinating to me because that means that they're doing something that's catching AI's attention, like chat or AI or Gemini with Google. They're catching AI's attention without even being ranked like Google used to do. So, um, I think I guess my biggest thing is like figure out what you need to do, what you can actually implement, but then also figure out what needs to be done to have you be seen easier with AI. Because I don't know if you noticed this too, but the map pack is lower sometimes. So now it's like that's showing even below organic rankings that used to be at the top.
Mhm.
Um, and now it's just being more and more of those AI overviews are showing up. So um, I don't know if that fully answers the question, but that's kind of what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it answers it in partiality of like we know what we kind of know about it so far. We don't really know how it's going to affect or influence things 6 months
Hmm.
from now, 3 months from now.
Hmm.
And like if we're really talking about the speed of AI, the biggest thing I noticed, and even being a business owner myself, is like there's just a redundancy of tools that are out there. You have GPT, you have Claude, you have Lovable, you have your own LLMs, you've got Gemini, like Grok. Which ones do I use? Which one's better than the other one? Like, and so I think there's just a lot of like information overload right now for people. And so it's
Hmm.
like, owners that really do want to take advantage of everything that's out there and available and actually position themselves in a spot that is, taking advantage of the right things. It's
Hmm.
more of like, man, how do you keep yourself from being kind of almost burnt out from that side of things? But outside of
Sure.
like what really makes you unique in what you do in your approach, and what's really set you apart from other ad agencies that are out there, marketing companies?
Yeah. So, kind of what really sets us apart is our like quality of work that we do. So a lot of people will like I've heard so many stories about people being burned by marketing agencies and kind of doing some of the what was SEO and those type of things. Like they paid all this money and didn't get anything done for it. And there's certain things that we do that we can even offer some like, hey, there's like not guarantees of where they'll rank or anything like that, or well, again, now it's not so much ranking, now it's like AI recommending. But it's really doing we stand behind our work and quality of work that we're not just looking to take someone's money and not get anything done. Like I want to see some results to where even if I have to do something, if we don't see some of the results, I've done stuff for free just to kind of keep like, hey, this we didn't see what we wanted to do. I had a client that we did not see, although I thought I'd set some good expectations, but we didn't see what I thought we wanted to. So for a month or two, I was just doing basically work to kind of keep going with it. So it's really that integrity in the business of that because that bothers me. I don't want to be doing something that's not going to be um that is like just taking clients' money and not like and feel like have them feel like I'm not doing anything. Even if I am doing something, it's not moving. I still want to be able to kind of make it right some way of like, hey, I'll give you this extra service or this extra type of thing to really um to at least have a positive experience for them.
For sure. Well, and I think that resonates with a lot of these guys because when they're doing work on homes or they're doing helping direct with consumer whatever, a lot of them carry that same level of pride and just I think expectations of themselves of if it's not right and the client complains, we're going to do what we need to just make it right and take care of them.
Mhm.
And so finding companies that align with that to work with is a big part of I think succeeding as a marketing company or succeeding as an accounting company, whatever it is you're doing in the space, right? If your values align with the people that you're working with, you typically work with those people. And you're right.
Yep.
The amount of marketing agencies that I've come across lately that just billing people and they're not getting any ROI on the amount that they're billing. I'm just sitting here going, this is insane. Actually, think how much you're paying to have you don't even have like a 2% return of investment here at all. Like, so this is nuts. We've got to stop this. And some of these numbers are 30K plus a month.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy to me that kind of exists out there. But at the same time, being in the industry I'm in on the finance side, I see that all the time too. Where it's just like, wow, why did that even get offered to you? So,
Yeah.
on the flip side, of this, with kind of what you worked with, like what's kind of been your favorite client project that you've had where you've maybe come in and it's maybe been a difficult client to work with, or maybe not even a difficult client, but just a difficult business. Maybe it's unique. Maybe it doesn't just pull up as much as like what some companies do inside of Google, like that you've been able to work with and actually get good results with. What does that look like?
Yeah, well, I work a lot with some like concrete contractors, concrete coating guys, concrete lifting. I think one thing, but also that's not the only like when you first said that, the first thing was, which I'm almost hesitant to talk about it because it's not something I don't know if I want to keep doing, but because it's a different animal that we helped um build an e-com site, so e-commerce site for someone, and I knew that was just talking. I hadn't done one before. Like I'd done like a Shopify store before, but that's like kind of the plug and play stuff. But we were doing an ecom site, and it was stretching because it was different, and those are a lot of work, and my team did like I wasn't alone with it. I had my team that was helping too, but that was a lot of learning with that of just like doing adding in every product and every page and adding in making sure taxes and shipping, all that was set up and kind of thinking more like the whole picture, not just building a site. Cause a lot of times it is like I mentioned, like the concrete coating, the concrete lifting, the concrete guys. I'm just like, it might be build a website for them, optimize that site. And it's pretty straightforward. This one was a little less straightforward, but but that again, that's where I really like the problem solving thing where it's like, I might, my kind of service description might be marketing, but but really I'm a problem solver. It's what problem are you having in your business and how do we solve that problem? Even if it's not, and what's great too is like knowing people like yourself that I even had kind of sent you that message about someone that needed some help with their financing or credit or whatever. Having other people like that, even if I'm talking with someone and they're like, hey, I really got my biggest problem is I have the biggest tax bill, and I can go, oh, I know somebody that's a tax strategist or whatever type of thing. So like solving those problems is kind of my favorite thing in the business is seeing what's going on. And if I can help, great. If I can pass along and find somebody else that can help, I love that too. But I think, yeah, that project was kind of, stretching for sure. Cause it was a different style of site that I was building, that we were building and kind of getting that done. It worked well. And it was fun to see. I would go in there after we got it live or whatever, seeing some orders start to come in. That's always the funnest thing too, is that's the most rewarding piece is, we did another site for, a gutter installer, and now we're continuing to do some optimization for that site. But he called last week and he's like, hey, have you guys done much for the optimizing? I was like, we're just getting started. Not really. He's like, oh, cause someone just called me. And they said they found my site or whatever. And, or even just if I do a search myself and seeing things that we just built already like ranking is really satisfying and feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, the cool part about, I think, any type of service job that you do is seeing kind of where somebody started when they came into you, and then seeing, the path that you took, the progress that you made, and the results at the end of it, right? And hopefully those were, overall good results. So it's the same with us, right? It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a little bit of collaboration, it takes a little bit of work. You being working with the owners a lot, you get to see the good and the bad, the things that they're stuck in. And so I always say, like, human equity is such a big part of owning a business. Like, the more human equity you have, just by serving somebody, genuinely trying to help them, it goes a really long way with other people. We have the same mantra with our company is like, even if it's outside of our wheelhouse and we know that they're struggling with it, we're going to go find somebody that fits and we're going to help them solve this problem. Because it's the right thing to do regardless. And it doesn't take that much time out of our day to do it. So I think that's a good, it's a good thing to have as any kind of a business owner. So And speaking of kind of business ownership, you've grown your own agency, you've kind of built this out. Like, what was your pathway into this? And like, how long did it take you to get to a spot where you were able to be a little bit more independent and operated on your own terms?
hmm Yeah, so I started my agency. It was the end of 2021. So basically, the start of 2022. So we're in our fourth year. It's been up 4 years now, and for a while, I was doing a couple things, right? So I was doing kind of a few different side hustles to kind of do it all at the same time, and so it's been really in the last year that I've really focused on it and gotten away from everything else, and that's where I've started to see some growth in my business and really see it start to take off. Um, I've also been a part of a business coaching group called the E Forge or the Entrepreneurial Forge, with my mentor and coach. His name is Kory Long, and we have he started this group, and he was the one that I first learned all this stuff from. But that's really helped too to have, um, for one thing, doing this business can be really like you're just kind of by yourself a lot of times, right? And I don't know if you feel that with your business too, but like, I mean, yes, I have team members that I work with that are more virtual. They're around the country. They're around, but they're not like sitting in an office with me. Um, so it's been really great with that, just to have other people to kind of bounce ideas off of, not be just in a silo by myself or whatever. And then like having accountability and stuff like that. But yeah, so it took a bit of time, and it's taken some kind of flips and changes in mindset to of even still, there's still times I catch myself in that kind of employee mindset more than like a business owner or a yeah, an agency owner mindset. So it's still a work in progress, but we're making progress.
Yeah, no, for sure. I understand that part about the feeling a little bit alone or segmented off. Working out of my office, having a team across the country, some of them in different parts of the world, even.
Yep.
I've definitely had thoughts of like, man, I kind of want to open up my own office space and have people in the office. And I just kind of keep going back and forth there. But at the end of the day, it is what you make of it. It is, work however you want it to work. Um, but it is important to be part of like groups like those entrepreneur groups, being with other business owners, connecting with people, getting out to live events and seeing people live. Like those are all super important things. So, it's good that you're doing that. So if somebody wants to reach out and set up a time to talk to you, learn a little bit more about what you do, what's the fastest and best way for somebody to reach you?
Fastest and best is probably just call or text with my phone number. It's 720-499-4444. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm located in Minnesota, but it's a Colorado number because I lived there for 10 years, but now I'm back in Minnesota, but I can help. I have clients still in Colorado. Actually, I still have probably the most there. But I have clients here in Minnesota. I have clients had a client in Nebraska before, but yeah, so I can serve anybody all around the country.
Okay. Well, Kory, I appreciate you taking time out to join us today.
hmm
And like I said, it's always valuable to have other people on. I'd like to bring people inside of the industry, outside of the industry, that serve the industry, to get everybody's perspective. So again, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And for those of you watching, make sure to check us out on Spotify and Apple. And you can check this recording as well on YouTube at Roll Up and Roll Out on our YouTube channel as well. So this is another episode of Roll Up and Roll Out. Kory, I appreciate your time today, and we will catch you all on the flip side. Thank you.